Hey gun people, do a crazy cop story here. I just did something on pursuits and it reminded me of a couple of crazy cop stories, so I'm gonna, if you didn't see the vehicle on pursuits, I'll go ahead and throw in, because some people only watch my crazy cop stories, so they may not watch the pursuit stuff. So in this pursuit story, I covered a couple of pursuits. I'm chasing this motorcycle. I can't remember why I stopped him. Had a full face helmet on, couldn't see his face. I don't remember why I stopped him. He probably was driving fast or passing, or didn't have a plate, cutting in and out, doing something. He caused me to take interest in him, and if he caused me to take interest in you, I'm going to look at you hard. So, for some reason, I decided to light him up. So I light him up. He looks over his shoulder, gets a couple of looks. Is this guy a real cop? I hit the siren. He's like, shit. Took off and hauling ass. So I'm in Sacramento when this happened, Sac PD jurisdiction. I call in. I try to get help. They try to terminate the pursuit because we have the plate, and they go, we know where the plate is, and if you know who it is, our policy is we don't pursue. So they didn't want to help me in the pursuit. As a matter of fact, I don't think they did help me. I think they complained that I didn't terminate it, but I ended up getting either Sac Sheriff or CHP to assist because I was on different frequencies. And so we're chasing this guy around. He's almost losing me. He almost wipes out a couple times. I almost wipe out. Finally, he goes around his corner. He slides into either another motorcycle or a pole, I think, because the motorcycle, we had to have it towed off the pole. So he gets off and the pursuit's on. I jump out of my car, I'm chasing him, we're running, I'm hollering at the pursuit, and he's got a pretty good lead on me because I got to get my seatbelt off, get out of the car, make sure I got my gun shit ready. I don't know what he's doing. So by the time I get on him, he's got a good lead. So I gain ground a little bit on him. But at one point, he turns around with his helmet and throws it as I come around the corner. So I see his damn helmet come around. So I'm like, shit. And again, I don't know if the guy's going to pull a gun. So when you're chasing somebody and you've got your gun out, I don't just go around corners blindly. When I go around corners, I'm going to have to come really wide and clear to make sure you're not waiting for me. So I just can't blindly run around corners unless I have you in sight and I can keep you in sight. If I can keep you in sight, then I can keep chasing you. But I wasn't that close, so I was slowing down a little bit. Well, anyway, I end up, he got away, I lost him for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I saw a dude run and jump on a bus, and he got on a bus somehow and ended up getting away. I went back to the course, I don't remember who, some citizen picks up his helmet, and I go, don't touch the helmet. I go, I need that. And they're like, oh, they drop it. So we get the helmet, end up pulling a print. The print comes back to a known auto theft, known for stealing motorcycles, and so we go the next day and we arrest him home. So that was just one of the cases where we're chasing somebody. The other case where, there was another chase case. Ah, shit, I can't remember. I need to write this down. But anyway, the second case was with the fire department, and I got a buddy that's, I talked about him before, but I won't say his name because he got... I put him on some bad thing last time. I'm not going to say his name, but he's a fire guy. And he was talking about fire departments being able to go in cities where cops can't, etc. And I said, yeah, you know what? I got a crazy cop story about how the fire department... So cops and firemen work together pretty closely. You know, there's that government employee bond, union. Our contracts are tied together. So we piggy bank off the fire department, they piggy bank us up. So when they get their contract, they ask for something outrageous like, 3 weeks vacation, 2 weeks sick leave, and a $400 uniform allowance. So then next time when we go in there, if our uniform allowance is only $200, then we want to say we got to match the fire department. So fire department and cops kind of are always matching each other in contracts. So they kind of pay the same government. They both say, oh, they both risk their lives. They both work 24 hours. So there's a lot of parity there. I won't say that. Anyway, so the firemen get to go. Everybody loves firemen. Cops are all hated, firemen are all loved. Well, I think that's changing now because firemen are learning that they can call in, etc. And I think in California, firemen are considered peace officers when they're performing on the street. So if you assault them, it's like assaulting a cop. So they have a little bit protection because they go in shit neighborhoods, they deal with these assholes and are getting hit, told to get out of there, etc. So the government has decided to give them that extra layer of protection. I don't know if it's like that in all states. In California, they're considered peace officers. So are lifeguards. I was kind of found out, I was like, no shit, lifeguards are peace officers. Because they're out there enforcing rules and regulations on the sand and the water, and somebody doesn't listen, then they have, I don't know if they have powers to arrest, well they do as a citizen anyway, but if they're considered a peace officer, then they can arrest you as a peace officer if you commit a crime in front of them. So anyway, at this city I'm working at, now remember this is back in the 80s, so it wasn't this sue happy kind of, you know, we don't want to get in trouble, and so we could do things that probably couldn't be done today. So we had this guy that we wanted, and he was known to have a gun. We knew he had a gun. We had him checked in this little shit hotel on a strip, and he had a car that we thought he was driving when he got there because he put the license plate on when he signed into the hotel. So we're like, all right, how do we get in there? Because we think he's got a woman and she might have kids. And if we kick that door and he's got guns, we get a hostage. So we're sitting around beating the bush just saying, you know, we know this guy's here. We know we're going to get him. And I was on the crime suppression team, so that was our job, is kind of go out and get the bad guys or to get guys who were, you know, felons. We wanted the felony guys. So the guys come up, and I don't remember what part I played, if any, but the guys come up with this plan that they have some old fireworks that we took at the PD with some smoke bombs. So why don't we throw smoke bombs under the car? It'll smoke. We'll have the fire department waiting right here, and they'll squirt down the car with a hose with their lights and siren. We won't have any cops there. When this guy comes out to see why his car's on fire, then we get arrested. Now I think if you did that today, people would be like, are you freaking crazy? We can get sued. We can't. There'd be 1,000 reasons why we couldn't do it. Well, you know what? We did it. So they throw the smoke bombs. The fire department's right there. We get him right around the corner. As soon as we throw the smoke to him, he just pulls around the corner, throws his lights and sirens on. The fire department's out there squirting shit on the hose. There's smoke coming out. And sure as shit, there's a couple officers on each side of our can say, here comes a dude out with his underwear like, yo man, that's my car, that's my car. And we jump on him. And he goes to jail. And he's like, what about my car? We're like, man, we did that. We just threw some smoke. You know, your car's all right. Man, that's fucked up. You guys shouldn't be able to do that. That's fucked up. So anyway, I forgot about that story. I was talking to my buddy at the fire, and I was like, oh shit, we used the fire department one time to help us arrest this dude. So, again, would they do that today? I doubt it. Did it work? Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good idea. The mother and child even came out when we jumped on him and was arresting him. Most people like their cars. If you can get them out with their cars. You know, we've tried a couple times to call a tow truck and say, we know that's his car. Let's go tow it and see if he runs out of the house if he's here. And he didn't run out, so we ended up towing the car. But, you know, there are different ways, and those are called a ruse to get people out. You know, you can knock on the door and say there's a gas leak. You can, turn the electricity off. And people usually come out and go, what the hell happened to electricity? And as they come out, you get them out in the open. So you can use things like that to trick people out. The courts have ruled it okay. Cops are allowed to use ruses. I think there's some stipulations about when you use a ruse, it can't endanger public or put innocent in jeopardy. Or, you know, everybody has to word things to protect their part of their ass. And then they leave it to someone else to make the hard decisions and to get the people. I mean, if it was up to freaking politicians, you know, cops wouldn't do anything unless somebody did something to them, and then it would be okay. Otherwise, we don't want to get sued and we do nothing. You know, except go out and write tickets and collect taxes. So, those are a couple cop stories. I can't remember the other pursuit story I was trying to think about. I don't remember if it was a motorcycle. Oh, now the other thing I talked about in pursuit is, again, I can't admit or deny because that might get other people or cases in trouble. But as a cop, if you're riding around in a shit neighborhood and you know there's a bunch of bad guys and it's 2 or 3 in the morning and you're behind a couple guys that look like crankers and you're like, yeah, they look like they're up no good. I really don't want to stop them for anything, but I wonder if they're up no good. Let me just turn on my lights like I'm going to a call and I'll see if they run. I can probably speak from experience. You'd be surprised how many people run just because a cop turns on his lights when you're in a certain neighborhood. So, am I encouraging people to break the law? No. And people are going to be like, that's unconstitutional. It's not unconstitutional when you turn on my lights. I'm turning on my lights. If this guy wants to run, well shit, he just ran in front of me. I got to chase him now. So, anyway, for the cops out there working, believe me, it works. Alright, here goes all the hate, Alfred. You're a bootleg no good, Smokey! Smokey has a no lights and siren policy when chasing mice. All right, we'll end that there.